We're Ryan and Brittany, and our little family has been calling the Bahamas home for the summer. This place is absolute paradise, but even paradise comes at a cost because it's hurricane season and things are really starting to take a shift.
Now to your first alert forecast. Hurricane Erin has exploded in strength, becoming a Category 5 less than a day after it turned into a tropical storm. We could feel its effects here, though Erin is expected to stay offshore.
Good morning and happy Sunday. And welcome to sunny Bahamas. We are currently on Hurricane Erin watch, which has been quite nerve-wracking because Erin intensified from a Category 3, I think, all the way to a Category 5 in like less than 12 hours. And so far, the hurricane's been forecast to turn north, but there's a lot of variables that's working off of. So we're really hanging on tight to this northern turn because if she decides not to turn, she's coming straight for us, which is not ideal. But we're thinking positive. Ryan's got one more trip with scouts. He's actually out there right now. He just picked them up yesterday. And we're holding on to hope that all will be well. So as you can see, it's really beautiful and calm here in the Abacos. You would never guess that there's a Category 5 hurricane headed out there. It does look like everything's pointing to her turning, but there's a lot of activity coming up behind her, which is making us a bit nervous. So as soon as Ryan's got the scouts off, we are making a beeline to the east coast of the US to hide out for the remainder of hurricane season. Jackson, come here. Jackson, come. Anyways, I'm just taking Jackson for a little bit of a walk down to the water and enjoying this beautiful, calm weather while we can. So we'll see what happens. Wish us luck. Come on, let's go.
Now, we've had a lot of you ask why we stick around for hurricane season when every other cruiser is sailing the opposite way. But summer is the time when the scouts are out of school and when they can come and do the high adventure trips like this. So we just learn to play the game and keep a sharp eye on the weather.
Back into air conditioning. Now, we're at the very end of being here in the Bahamas. Ryan's literally on his very last trip. We've been here for the summer and we've held out really well. The weather's been really good. We haven't had any hurricanes so far. So Erin is actually the first of the season, which is a little bit late. Last year, there was a massive hurricane that came through and took out some of the southern Caribbean, especially like Carriacou and all those places. Erin isn't necessarily our biggest concern. The problem is there's a lot of activity starting to stir up behind her over off of the coast of Africa. And the problem is that if Erin really turns up the water along the east coast of the US, we may not have a nice weather window to cross over before the next one hits. So we're kind of in a pickle. We really are watching the weather closely. So we'll see what happens, but it's funny, all of our friends who don't need to be here have hightailed it out of here. Some of them are just arriving up to northern Florida. Others are heading off the banks right now. It's supposed to be super beautiful and flat out there right now, so they're gonna have a great crossing. Ryan was tossing up canceling this last trip so we could get out of here, but we decided to stay behind and finish the season because all the weather models have been really confident that Erin's gonna head north. But we are banking on that happening. Also, can we just talk about postpartum hair loss for a second? I've got the most wild, like, whatever this is. I didn't realize how much hair I lost postpartum until it started growing back. And now all of a sudden, I've got these crazy like horns growing out of my head. One of the things we did just before Ryan picked up this last group is we basically cleared out this rental aside from whatever's in the fridge, as well as some bare minimum basics. Like Oakley has one little basket of clothes. I've got one drawer of clothes and that's it. Everything else has been moved back onto the boat so that even if Ryan had to cancel and drop his scouts off mid-trip, we were ready to just move onto the boat and hightail it out of here. So we're ready to rock and roll out of here and hightail it to safety. The other thing we've been doing while we've been here when Ryan's had days off is this rental is really beautiful. It's a big house. It's on a beautiful big piece of property on the beach. In any other circumstance, we would not be able to afford to rent this place, but actually this rental needed some work. And when we first arrived, the bathroom sinks weren't in, there was no kitchen barely, didn't have bench tops, there was no handles on the kitchen. So we've got it for a discounted price because basically this place is still under construction. And Ryan being a cabinet maker, he's offered to help fix a few of those things up while we're here too, which is nice. Rentals here in the Bahamas are absolutely outrageously expensive, and most are not open to having this big guy right here. He really limits us to where we can rent, and we basically have to work around him to what we can have because it wouldn't be fair for him to be stuck in a 1-bedroom apartment for 3 months while we're here. So there's lots of space for the big guy to roam and enjoy. The only problem is there's street dogs here which kind of rule the roost around here. I think they're kind of trying to bully us out of the neighborhood. They can smell Jackson and then they're not a big fan. Also, Jackson hair everywhere. So I don't blame people for not wanting to rent to us, but I'll make a point of making sure it's very clean when we leave. Hey, big boy. You make everything more complicated because you're such a big boy. Do you know what? After heading down there, I realized it's so calm along the rocks, and it's probably the only time I'm gonna have an opportunity to go for a swim since we've been here. I've been waiting for a calm day like this and it just hasn't happened. So I think Oakley and I are gonna go for a swim off the rocks. It is literally the calm before the storm. So Oakley and I are gonna go for a little dip. Jackson's not gonna be very happy, but I'm gonna keep you here, bud. Okay. Let's go, bub. Oh, we're in. The water is so warm, it's not even refreshing. All right, so Oakley and I just went for a swim. The National Weather Service has just put out, they're just about to go live with a 11 o'clock update. So I want to listen out for it to see if there's been any changes. Apparently Erin's formed a secondary eye wall or something, or has had an eye wall change. So I don't know what that will do to affect us. So I'm just gonna listen out and see what this is all about. Let's see. Hey.
Welcome back, everyone.
Hey, what? You can't do that.
Today is Sunday, August 17th, and this is the daily update on Hurricane Erin. If you see behind me on the image, you can see the satellite imagery here, indicative of a powerful major hurricane.
Okay, we want to see what's happening in the Bahamas.
Tropical storm warnings, still anticipating a turn to the north and ultimately northeast by middle and late week, staying offshore of the eastern United States, but getting perilously close to the outer banks of the North Carolina.
Okay.
Now, we'll be back tomorrow.
So far, it doesn't look like much has changed.
But please remember, we update our forecast every 6 hours or 4 times a day.
Oh.
And you can always get the latest information at hurricanes.gov.
At this point, everything looks pretty good. So we're gonna keep going with that. There we go.
As we get ready to move again, I've been ticking off chores, and today I decided to wash down our canvas, something I've been meaning to do but had to get creative with now that we've got a teething baby who is super clingy at the moment.
Don't grind your teeth, bub. Good job, bub. Scrub-a-dub-dub. Thanks for the grub.
Alright guys, it's like 11 o'clock at night. I'm just finishing up editing this video, but we've officially reached real time. So this video has been filmed and posted the same day. So we're riding out Hurricane Erin together in real time. So stay tuned for next week's video. I'm sure that'll be an interesting one to see how this all turns out and what's to come, because there's a lot of storms following up behind her. So stay tuned. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not already, as we make our way back to the east coast of the US and run away from all these storms. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you next week.
Like and subscribe. It's got hair in my face. Ah, Jackson. Jackson says like and describe.
Describe.
Like and subscribe. He's really heavy. He's tricking me. Like